as we journey along. Come on and journey with me. It's a journey to free. Journey with me. Come on and journey with me. Hey.
Hey guys, good morning. This is Larissa from Journey to Free, and we're here on, we're on the outdoors, and we're here in beautiful Jamaica on the set of Mask. As you can tell, it's not actually a set because we're outside, but this is our first recording of Mask. What is Mask? The series that we're doing that allows survivors of child sexual abuse to share their stories. The reason being to help, to inspire, to encourage, to empower others, and most importantly, to just enlighten people of the struggles that we deal with, because as we know, this topic, it's something that we don't talk about. And so many of us, we live with so much pain, so much torment, and the trauma that comes along with the experience we had, and we never spoke about it. So a lot of people don't know what it is that we have to deal with in our day-to-day lives. So that is what Mask is all about. I am sitting here with our first guest, and I am so honored to be interviewing her. I asked and she answered the call, and I am so happy, and we will be getting right into it. Okay guys, so we're back, and we're speaking with my very first guest on Mask. And first I have to say to her, I thank you so much for being courageous enough to want to do this. I sincerely appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And we're just going to be having a basic chit chat. This is Mona. We'll call her Mona. And we're just going to be talking. First question I have for you, Mona, is why are you doing this?
Oh, wow. I mean, for the past 23 years, my life has been up and down, up and down. And after what happened to me, I thought I could deal with it by myself. You know, I distanced myself from people. I don't do well in socializing any at all. So when I saw your show, when I saw the show that you came on, I just had to reach out, and I was so tired of feeling sorry for myself. Like, other people out there is actually going through similar situations or worse than me. So, I mean, and I'm doing this for my daughter as well.
I love that answer.
I'm doing this for her. Yeah.
Wow. My other question to you is the tough one. Do you mind sharing your story of what happened?
Okay.
Before you answer that, how old are you, if you don't
I'm
mind?
24.
You're 24.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm 24.
Very young.
So, it all goes back to the type of relationship that I had with my mother. I mean, my father was absent, and it didn't really bother me because I had my grandma, my great grandma, and my mother. It was mostly females in my family, so having my dad absent, it really didn't feel like I was missing out on anything.
Okay.
But then the relationship with my mother, it just became downhill. You know, I remember I was in high school, and I'm a person like this. I love to cook, and when I told her that I was going to join the home economic class, it's like she didn't care, you know. She gave me that carefree answer, like, do whatever you want to do. So, you know, I just became silent. And I remember one weekend she came from work. She was very abusive, though. I should say that. She was very abusive. When she beats, she uses anything. Like, if she got a stone right now, she's gonna take it and she's gonna slap you with it. That's how she's very ignorant. So my brother, he was a little troublemaker. So I was the biggest one. So my mother was expecting to play the role when she's not there. He was giving my grandma hell. And my grandma would call and she would complain to my mother because she was working in Kingston. And she came home one weekend and she just decided that, you know, she's going to send me to my father. She called him and he said he would come and get me. And I was excited. I was excited because I could see now I'm able to see my sister and my other brothers. But little did I know that they weren't living with him.
Oh.
Yes. So I went there with the expectation going into a household of siblings.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case. He came about 1 o'clock at night and went there and you know, it was a regular, got up, eat, he would go to work and so forth. But I can't remember exactly if it was 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I can't remember. But
How old were you then?
I was in 8th grade. Going into 8th grade. Into 8th grade.
So that would make you what?
Around 14, 13.
Okay, 13. Yeah.
So I remember one night he called me because I was in my room, and he called me and he said that I should lay down. So not expecting that at all, you know, I went to lay down with him and he said to me, his exact words was, I'm going to prepare you for the world. Yes. And he did the unthinkable. He went down on me.
And this is your biological
Yes.
father.
He went down on me. And I just lay there. I was like, what is going on?
Oh my gosh.
What is going on? And he got up. I can't remember if he used a condom. I really can't remember. Because I was just out of it. I was staring out of space. I was wondering, what is going on? This shouldn't be happening. And he did what he did. He sweat and yeah. And he raped me. Yeah. He took my innocence. And
he did all of this in one night.
In one night, you know. And when he was finished, I just got up and I walked off, and I heard him calling to me, and I didn't look back. I just kept going, and I went to my room, and I just lay there like a piece of log. I just laid there, and I wanted to cry, but the tears wouldn't come. It wouldn't come, and I don't know how I fell asleep, but I did. And the following morning, I wanted to go outside, but then I was afraid that he might be out there. So it took me a while to get out, and as I opened the door, I was looking right at him, and he didn't have any remorse on his face. He didn't look sorry or, you know, it looked like, when you're entitled to something,
Oh yeah.
and he was supposed to, as he was saying, he was preparing me for the world, so he was supposed to do it, and it went on for a couple of weeks, and
Did you try telling anyone about what happened?
no, I did not. I don't know why, but I did not,
And
because I somehow felt like I should have done something. I should have got up. I should have screamed. I should have, so I felt like it was my fault, I felt like, no, this shouldn't be happening. Why didn't you do something? But I just laid there.
just so you know, it's a common feeling
I just
with
lay there.
all of us where we feel as if somehow we did this or we caused this. So I hope you know better now.
Yes, I do.
And how long did this go on for?
A couple of weeks. I remember he would, not every night, but he was bold enough to come to my room,
And it
do
was
what
just
he-
you two living alone?
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
And at any point did you tell your mom?
No, because of the type of relationship that we had. It was just, it was not none that a mother and a daughter should have. It was just terrible.
Oh,
It
wow.
was just terrible.
Have you ever told her?
No.
So she still doesn't know?
She
till
still
this
doesn't know.
As a matter of fact, who knows? Does anyone know what happened to you?
I've told my boyfriend.
That's
yes,
it.
Yes.
And then you're telling me.
And then I'm telling you.
And all of them.
Yes.
But oh my God, that's something. I can't begin to imagine what that feels like for you to be meeting your father for the first time, and then this happened.
I mean, he was never there. Even when my mother would call, to say, she needs this or she needs that, he always said he would, but never does.
Oh, okay.
So he was never there. And I really didn't miss him, It's just the fact that I was getting away from my mother.
Yes.
That I
Which
was
is really
excited
sad.
about.
So how did you get out of the situation?
I went back to my mother's house. I went back there and, I went on like nothing happened. Yeah.
And that is the story of so many of us. This happened. We tell no one and we just suppress it and continue wearing the mask
And,
like nothing ever happened.
That wasn't the only time I got raped.
Oh, wow.
Yes. I went back to stay with my father. But this time he was living with his mom and him. But his wife and kids were not living in the same house, but you could stay next door. So I met this guy, still going to high school. I met him and, we began dating and stuff like that, and was keeping a party. So, I went to the party. The party was at the house. It was like a family house. And, people were going in and out, in and out. But I was never outside. I was always inside, and I was drinking.
How old were you then?
I was about 15.
Okay.
I was about 15. And I was drinking. I remember I was drinking. And I felt like I wanted to sleep. So I went to lay down. But I remember waking up to a lady saying, I don't know if I should say what she said.
You could say it.
I could?
Yeah.
Okay, I remember she said they her until she started to bleed. And
Wait,
so,
at the same party?
yes, at the party, I was in the room. Not the room that I fell asleep in, but another room.
So someone took you to another.
I guess so. And I remember she said that. Like she was putting on a sanitary napkin
Wow.
on me. So I remember she was pulling my clothes
Wait,
off.
so when she said that, she was referring to you?
Yes, she was referring to me.
I thought she was talking about herself.
No, she was referring to me. And when she said that, I don't know what happened again. It's like I blocked out again. And I remember waking up when they were taking me through a crowd. So I could hear the noise, I could see the people, but then I blocked out again.
Oh my gosh.
And I remember waking up when they've reached my father's home, and they knocked on the door. He opened it, and they put me to lay down, and then I blacked out again.
Oh my goodness.
I woke up the next morning. I don't know what happened. I was just so weak. I couldn't stand for 10 seconds. I was so weak. I was bleeding hard.
Oh my goodness.
And I wasn't on my period. So, and I still didn't know what happened. I did not know what happened.
And still to this day, you don't know what happened?
Well, I knew what happened. I got raped.
Mm.
But I don't know who did it. And
oh my goodness.
as far as I know, it was more than one person.
And no one saw this? No one...
I went to school. It was a Saturday, so Sunday. And I went to school the Monday. I remember my father coming at school. And I was like, what is he doing here?
Mm.
You know, because he don't care enough to come and see what I was doing at school or
Yeah.
whatever. So it was surprising for me to see him. And he said, what happened Saturday? And I said, what are you talking about? I don't know what happened Saturday. I kind of had an idea, but I still didn't know. And he took me to the doctor.
How
They
did you
gave-
find this out, though?
Because, I mean, by this, I guess people talk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he took me to the doctor. They gave me 2 little pills. You know, I know now what that 2 little pills mean.
What does it mean if you know?
Pastanor 2. That's emergency contraceptive.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's if in case.
You got pregnant.
Yes.
Okay. So we're speaking to our first guest here on Mask, and a rather compelling story. Her first sexual abuse was with her father, and then she ended up being raped at a party, and still till this day don't know who, how many, what happened, nothing. We're going to be taking a break, and we'll be right back to continue.
Come on a journey with me. It's a journey to free. Journey with me. Come on a journey with me. Hey.
Hey guys, welcome back and welcome to Mask. We're sitting here with our guest. You've heard the story up until now. This is a separate section we're going into, and we're just going to be asking Mona, how is it that this abuse, whatever you've experienced in your past, how is it manifested in your life thus far?
Oh wow. I mean, I I've been into relationships that I've been with men old enough to be my grandfather
Oh, wow.
because I was looking for that love.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for that appreciation, and somehow I just felt like that's the way I should go. That's what I should put, you know, my efforts in. And I've been into relationships.
Mm.
And I just couldn't find what I was looking for.
Mm.
I couldn't find it. This thing with my mother, it I mean, I wanted a relationship with her. I don't know if she herself is going through something that I don't know about,
I meant to ask you that.
but you know, something is just not right.
Mm-hmm. And you're not her only child.
No, but I'm her only daughter. So
But I can still see that it bothers you. You still don't have a relationship
yes,
with your mother.
no, I don't. I mean,
Have you ever tried talking to her?
no, I'm scared.
Why?
I'm
But
scared to do so because, oh gosh, she's very ignorant.
Well, without even knowing your mother, I can already, it's safe to assume that your mother have her own demons fighting with. And
Yeah,
you have to somehow, it may not be right now,
yeah,
but try to
somewhere
talk
along
to
the way,
her.
I
Yeah,
will.
about.
Somewhere along,
So you mentioned that the abuse manifested in ways that you went from relationship
yeah,
to relationship.
relationships to relationships. I remember this particular one. You know, I was going to school. I was in like 10th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it gave me a lot of attention. And that was what I needed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I say jump, he would say how high.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I felt like probably this is it. You know, this is what I've been wanting. And, but then it got abusive.
Oh, wow.
He became a stalker.
As in
Like,
physical abuse.
yeah. He became a stalker, like showing up at school.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Was this an older man?
Yes. Yes. Showing up at school, like we would be on the phone like 24/7. You know, even when I'm at class, if he texts me or if he calls me and I don't pick up,
And you're in school.
and I'm in school. Yeah, so he was giving me love. Like I probably know that I'm looking back at it, it's not love.
I was gonna say
But
that, yeah.
at that time it was
Yeah.
for me. And
I'm happy you got to that place. I know that was a very unhealthy
Very.
relationship.
very
But again, it's just another one of those things that we go through because I have stories of my own. And the funny thing is that I realize there's several ways being abused can, the traumas of all of that and what you're searching for, it manifests in your life. It's either, it can be that we do that, we go from relationship to relationship. In my case, I didn't do the relationship to relationship because a part of me, I didn't want anything to do with men.
Yeah.
So it's almost like two different spectrums, you know what I mean? And it's very frequent. It's either you go this route or you go that route.
Yeah.
And we're going to be taking a quick break. We'll be right back.
Come on a journey with me. It's a journey to free. Journey with me. Come on a journey with me. Hey.
Hey guys, it's Larissa. Welcome back to Mask, another segment. And we're sitting here with my lovely, courageous guest, Mona. And I'm going to be asking her now, what are some of the challenges that she currently faces?
I don't trust nobody. Like, I don't even trust myself. You know. So, you know, now that I have my daughter, it's, I don't even know how to put it. She's the best thing that ever happened to me, you know. When I had her, I I know that I was suffering from depression.
After you had her.
After I was very excited when I found out I was pregnant. I was very excited. But after a couple of weeks, when I had her, it's like I was rejecting her. You know, she would cry because you know babies cry, and I would get angry. You know, and I remember one particular day, because she was about 5 weeks. And I remember she started to cry for no reason. I don't know if it was her tummy ache or something of the sort. And I remember a voice just say, just slap her. And I was like, what? Are you crazy? You know, and then I had to really sit myself down and say, you know what? Girl, I know you've been going through some stuff, but that's your baby.
How old is your daughter?
She's 4.
4.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
She's 4.
You have a beautiful 4-year-old daughter. How has your experience affected your parenting?
Well, somewhat. I don't know if it's because, she's just 4, so there's not much experience there. But, I try my best. I try my utmost best to show her love, one that my mother did not show me. I mean, she's just 4, and we have the relationship like sisters. You know, she can tell when something is not right with me, you know, and she would come and say, "Mommy, you're alright," or "Mommy, want to you?"
Oh, yeah, they do.
Yes. So, you know, the relationship with me and her is just, it's beautiful.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That's good. And as it relates to you trusting her around other persons, how does that work for you?
I trust her with absolutely nobody, no one. I don't leave her, go nowhere. You know, even at school. At school finish, I'm there to
And you
pick her
talk
up.
to her?
Yes, I talk to her. I
yeah.
tell her bad touch from good touch and all of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am very happy, and just continue to encourage her in that way, you know, and to talk to you if anything happened, and not just you.
Yeah.
If something should ever happen, if there's a case that she does not feel comfortable talking to you, let her know the persons around her that she can trust or should trust. The thing is, that's so tricky because you never really know, but
Who to trust.
you never know. You honestly never know. And trust me, that's something I have to deal with. And, you know, and it's crazy because it can drive you insane if you're not careful. And I've gone through that, but I do have a circle that, you know, my immediate family that I know, okay, that's it right here. But unfortunately, you do have to entrust your cares to your children's care to other people, teachers and all of that. It's just, we have to do the best we possibly can and just talk. Unlike our parents that never spoke to us about anything, we just have to keep reiterating it. Just say it over and over, you know.
Can I say, I know that I somehow suffer from depression. You know, sometimes I would feel happy. I would feel so happy, and then the next moment I just and I'm all over the place. I'm crying. I don't know why I'm crying, stuff like that. And I tried reaching out to this particular person. Um, I think he's a therapist. He's a doctor, yeah. And because I didn't have the money to for the sessions, to go to the sessions, he offered sex. Yes, he did. And I was like,
Wow.
are you serious
Oh, wow.
right now? Yeah. And I just,
So there's no other, where you are, what parish you live in, there's no resources there for...
I'm not sure. I can't say that because after that experience, I just said, you know what, I'm just going to deal with this thing. I read books and stuff like that.
I'm going to encourage you. The beauty of it is that
Yes,
you
I
can
do.
detect, and you're
Yes.
saying that
Yeah, I
you
do.
suffer from depression, but this is not something you can deal with on your own. And I can say this is not something you deal with on your own. You're going to need help.
Yeah.
So one of the things, and we'll talk about this off camera, is that we need to find out what areas, whatever government agencies they have in your parish that you could possibly turn to. And no, don't just give up. I understand. I totally understand what you're getting at, because that will just turn you off from even trying to
yeah.
do anything. But don't stop, because for your mental health, for the sake of your daughter, you need to find a therapist that you can speak with. And
Yeah.
honest to goodness, it's part of what got me to where I am today. We're going to be wrapping this segment up, and when we come back, we'll come back with the final question, and the question is, what is the mask that you wear? Your day-to-day mask. What is the mask we wear? We're taking a break, and we'll be right back with Mona.
Come on a journey with me. It's a journey to free. Journey with me. Come on a journey with me. Hey.
Hey guys, welcome back to Masked. We're with Mona, and we're in our final segment with the final question. Mona, what is the mask that you wear?
Okay. My mask. If a person doesn't really know me or know me personally, they would think that, oh wow, what a beautiful girl. She's always smiling, always encouraging people and stuff like that. So I try my best to always make people laugh, because you see, when I go behind closed doors, I am this miserable person. I cry a lot. I'm very emotional, so my mask is having people think that I'm happy, because really and truly, stuff that I went through, I just, if I'm to show it on my face, oh Lord have mercy, I would be one ugly mama. So, and they say, I think that my mask is having people think that I'm happy. Having people think that, oh, she's all right, she's not going through stuff or whatever. So, yeah, that's my mask.
Sounds very familiar. It sounds like one of my masks. Yes, the pretense is that you have it all together and nothing phases you, nothing bothers you. But
Always smiling.
yeah,
Always making jokes, but behind it all, I'm miserable.
which is why we're going to talk again about we have to find a therapist, and we have to find another outlet for you to deal with this, because yes, the mask does come off at the end of the day when no one sees you, and the pain that you're dealing with, what is the real truth behind the facade we put on daily. So you're 24 and you have your whole life ahead of you. We cannot continue to do this and to wear this mask, put up this facade for the world, and we're harboring so much pain. So we're going to actually look into that some more and trying to get you some assistance. There has to be something, And I want to thank you so, so much, Dana, for having the courage, my sister friend, and my fellow surviving strong sister. And we'll be talking, and we're journeying to freedom, right? Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
And
Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're most welcome. And we'll be doing this again
Yes,
en
we will.
masse at some point in time. Thank you, guys. Thank you. This is Larissa signing out for Mask, or very first episode. And thank you so much for joining. Until next time, from my heart to yours, I love you guys so much. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Come on a journey with me. It's a journey to free. Journey with me.